Hello people, in this video let us look at some MCQs from refractive errors. We'll take very easy ones. Try this one. A child presented with difficulty in seeing. So the child is presenting with difficulty in seeing the blackboard in the school. So it is a child. The teachers say that he frequently squeezes his eyes, okay, maybe to see. Most probable cause is. So here the answer is, what do you think? He's not able to see the blackboard. Blackboard is kind of far. It is not a near object. It's a far object. He's not able to see the far object. Near object, there doesn't seem to be any complaint. So the answer here is short-sightedness, that is myopia, right? So myopia is the answer. Let's check the answer. Yes, the answer is myopia. This exactly happened to me also. When I was writing notes, I could see that my classmates were able to write and I was not able to write. Only then I came to know that I have myopia. The next question again on myopia. The most common cause of myopia is. So the options here are the antero-posterior diameter is increased, the thickness of the lens is increased, viscosity of aqueous humor is increased, viscosity of vitreous humor is increased. Which is the most common cause they are asking. So based on our myopia lecture, you remember here the image is forming in front of the retina, right? The light is able to fall only till here. So what could be the most common cause? So the etiological classification of myopia, you saw axial myopia, curvatural myopia, positional, index myopia, myopia due to excessive accommodation. So the most common is axial, okay? So axial, that is AP diameter is increased, that is why the image is forming in front of the retina. So this is the most common cause of myopia. Just let us look at all the causes here. Axial myopia from increased antero-posterior length of the eyeball, commonest. Then you have curvatural myopia, increased curvature of the cornea, lens or both. So the curvature is more. But in the options what they have actually given, in the options they are telling the thickness, the viscosity. Let us see if it is there anywhere. Positional myopia because of the placement of the lens, the way it is placed. Index myopia, increase in the refractive index of the lens. So here the refractive index is increasing, okay, and then myopia due to excessive accommodation due to spasm, okay. So basically here nowhere they are talking about these options, right. So we will go with this AP diameter is increased, most commonest form. Guys, let us look at the next question. What do you say? Foster-Fuchs spots, okay, Foster spots, Fuchs spots are seen in. Where do you see these spots? We are still in myopia, guys. So yeah, it is myopia. Myopia is the answer here. So basically in pathological myopia, we see Foster-Fuchs spots. Look at this image here. Myopia, Fuchs spots, pigmentary changes. Basically this is in pathologic myopia, okay. Pathological myopia. So basically in myopia you have congenital, pathological, so many, right? So in this pathological myopia, what and all will be the other fundus changes? Fundus changes will be like the optic disc will appear large, pale, and its temporal edge will characteristic myopic crescent is present, okay. Not sure if you can see in this, but anyways, these are the fundus changes in pathological myopia. So you should be seeing chorioretinal degeneration, Foster-Fuchs spots at the macula. At the macula, you should see the Foster-Fuchs spots. Vitreous shows synchisis and syneresis. Okay, vitreous shows some synchisis and syneresis. Posterior staphyloma may be present. So these are the changes in the fundus in pathological myopia. So Foster-Fuchs spots are seen where? Guys, Foster-Fuchs spots are seen in pathological myopia. So guys, are you okay to look at yet another MCQ? Okay, so look at this one now. Which of the following is used for the treatment of myopia? So the options are some lasers they have given here. ND-YAG laser, excimer laser, carbamazepine SSRI. What is this? These two are drugs, right? Carbamazepine and SSRI is what? Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. So which is used for treatment of myopia? So the answer here, let's look at it. It is excimer laser. So basically to correct myopia, right, to correct myopia, you can, surgical treatments are like radial keratotomy, PRK, that is photoretractive keratectomy using excimer laser. So you will use excimer laser here. Then automated microlamellar keratectomy, that is ALK. And if there is very high myopia unilateral, then they will remove crystalline lens. You can look at all that. So basically there are many types of lasers in ophthalmology. This one, excimer laser, actually the mechanism of action is photoablation. Okay, this is the mechanism of action, photoablation. So basically this excimer laser they will use in LASIK, right? They can use in PRK, that is photoretractive keratectomy. They can use in phototherapeutic keratectomy. So it is keratectomy, yeah. To be more precise, this excimer laser is 193 nanometer UV flash, it says. 193 nanometer UV flash. This is the, what is this, wavelength? Actually, some places they are writing it as 198, not sure. Some places they are writing as 198 nanometer as the wavelength. So basically the atomic environment used in excimer laser is helium and fluorine gas. Okay. So what is it using? Helium and fluorine gas. Okay. So basically which is used in the treatment of myopia, the answer here is excimer laser. Okay. Photoablation is the mechanism of action. Helium and fluorine gas. Let's look at one more question on myopia, guys. The most accepted modality of treatment of 2 diopter myopia in a 13-year-old girl is. So basically, it's not a very high power, what do you say? Right? So 13-year-old girl. So we don't do laser, right? Below 20 years, so this will be ruled out. Contact lens, radial keratotomy. Why do we want to remove the something? Radial keratotomy. It's a most acceptable. See here they are saying it is most accepted. Most accepted, we'll just go with spectacles. Okay. Answer is 1, spectacles. So in myopia treatment, what lens they'll give? Concave lens, right? And spectacles most accepted. Surgical, lot of procedures are there. We just looked at that, excimer laser will be used, etc. Contact lens will be next to the spectacles, because here in the question they have asked most accepted. Okay. Let's move on. A soft contact lens is used. Actually, I use soft contact lens. I have myopia, right? So we can use in high myopia. Myopia you can use. You can also use in other conditions, right? But will you use it in astigmatism or presbyopia or keratoconus? See, astigmatism, what they are saying is you need rigid lens, okay, not soft. Soft probably in very low astigmatism, okay. You need rigid contact lens in this. So here the word is soft. What about presbyopia and keratoconus? In keratoconus also contact lens can be used. That's what they are saying. Again, here they are saying rigid. Okay. Astigmatism, rigid lens again. What about presbyopia? See, the treatment for presbyopia is convex lens, right? And that is for near vision. When it comes to presbyopia, which is age related, accommodation related, the lens can be unifocal, bifocal, varifocal. So basically they have not written much of data here on soft contact lens. So we will just go with high myopia here. That is the answer here. High myopia, you use what? Soft contact lens. Look at this next question. Soft contact lens user presents to you with pain, watering, photophobia and white spot in the center of the cornea. What will be your initial management? They are only speaking about initial management. Initially, how will you manage it? Okay. Start frequent antibiotic drops, eye drops after discontinuing the contact lens. Okay, he is having some problem with the contact lens, so discontinue the contact lens. Sounds about right. That would be the initial management. Frequent installation of artificial tears. I kind of like this. Topical NSAIDs. Because why? Because is he in pain? That's why. So what is the initial management? Look at the answer here. The answer says start frequent antibiotic eye drops after discontinuing the contact lens. Why antibiotic drops? Because of white spot. So basically they are concerned about microbial keratitis due to contact lens. So discontinue the contact lens and give a topical antibiotic. Okay. So let's move on. Let's look at a few more questions, guys. The refractive index of cornea is, what do you think the answer is? So here you are able to see what is the refractive power of cornea. It is showing us 1.38. Let us look at the options now. So refractive index of cornea is 1.37. This is the nearest we have. So we'll go with this answer. Let's look at the answer here, 2. So the answer is refractive index of cornea is 1.37. Okay. So if you see here, the highest refractive index seems to be of the lens, right? Okay. Now look at another refractive power question. The refractive power of the eye depends mainly upon the following factors: lens, cornea. I'm sure it's these two, lens, cornea. Which else could it be? Aqueous, vitreous, hemorrhage. Who will put hemorrhage? Axial length of the eye, refractive power. Why is that there? Let's look at the answer. It's something definitely A, B and something. So it should be, it cannot be this, right? It can be this. So let's look at this. Answer is 3. We are saying the axial length of the eye also matters. Interesting. Okay. Let's take a few more questions. What say, guys? If somebody has pathological myopia, the most common complication, what will it be? Myopia. So it will kind of result in retinal detachment, right? Pathological myopia can lead to retinal detachment. So this is the answer here. Look at this one now. A 55-year-old male with a limbal scar. So that means some surgery maybe. A limbal scar is there. So he has defective vision for near and far both. When you see his eye clinical examination, there is a wide and deep anterior chamber. There is a deep anterior chamber. Iridodonesis. There is a lot of movement of this iris. Dark pupillary reflex. So it will be very dark. So what could you think this is? So when a vision of 6/6 is achieved with a correcting lens of 11 diopters, what is the diagnosis? What are the options we have? Aphakia, pseudophakia. Pseudophakia, hypermetropia, posterior dislocation of lens. See, one thing here, it looks like aphakia because there is a deep anterior chamber, there is no lens. That's why there is a deep anterior chamber, iridodonesis, dark pupillary reflex, all of them suggest aphakia. Pseudophakia means some lens will be there, right? Then why will he have so much of defective vision if they have already given him a pseudophakia? Hypermetropia. In hypermetropia, will you see all these features? These features are very typical of aphakia. Posterior dislocation of lens, which can also be called as aphakia because aphakia definition you saw is the absence of lens or dislocation also, right? If you remember our aphakia video, there in causes we have seen absence of the lens congenitally or surgically they have removed the lens, right? So basically what is gone in aphakia, there is no lens, right? So it is aphakia, no lens. So basically it can be because of the lens matter got absorbed, traumatically it is gone, or posterior dislocation also is aphakia only. Okay. So here the answer, let's see, the answer is aphakia. Okay. If you remember in aphakia we have seen all this. There will be hypermetropia. It is a feature of aphakia. And here we have seen this black pupil. See this? A very pitch dark black. Right? So a limbal scar means surgically they have removed the lens. Probably this person had cataract. What do you say? So basically he's a 55-year-old male, a limbal scar. That means surgically something was done. He seems to have a wide and deep anterior chamber. He has very bad vision, okay, markedly defective vision he has. So he's just not able to have good vision. So then iridodonesis, dark pupillary reflex. So vision of 6/6 is achieved if you give him a corrected lens. So most likely diagnosis is aphakia. Let's look at this one. Again here there is a case study kind of a thing. A 14-year-old boy complains of pain during reading. He has pain when he reads. Interesting. On examination, both eyes are normal. Both eyes are normal when you examine the eye. Vision with Snellen's reading is 6/5. 6/5 means it's like too good or what? He complains of pain on occluding one eye. He still complains of pain on occluding one eye. This guy has very good vision. What do you say? So, the answer here, let's look at. Answer is to pseudomyopia. What is this pseudomyopia? We need to read about this. Wait. Not much information is there in the textbook about pseudomyopia, but anyways, it is an intermittent or temporary shift in refractive error of the eye towards myopia, in which the focusing of light in front of the retina is due to the transient spasm of the ciliary muscle. So here they are talking about spasm of the ciliary muscle. So that is why probably this guy has pain. What do you say? So they are saying this guy is trying to do hyper accommodation. Okay. It's a very complicated case. Leave this. Focal length of lens is 0.75 meter focal length. What is the refractive power? So, do you remember this formula? So let's apply this. P is equal to 1 by F. F is given as 0.75, right? So let's calculate this. Where's the calculator? Here it is. 1 divided by 0.75. So answer is 1.33. So 1.33 diopter is the answer. What is the answer here? 3. Okay. See, objective assessment of the refractive state of the eye. That means you are objectively assessing. There is no subjectivity here. The patient can, even if the lie or something, you can catch it, right? It's an objective assessment. So you as a doctor is going to assess without any input, much input from the patient, right? So what is it termed? So the answer is 1, retinoscopy. Okay, objective assessment of the refractive state of the eye. Okay. So you can do retinoscopy, refractometry, keratometry, all these are objective refraction methods. How will you treat aphakia? If a person doesn't have the lens, then you will give them an intraocular lens. So this is the answer, right? Astigmatism. Why is it? Astigmatism is due to irregular curvature of the cornea. So blame the cornea, okay? Irregular curvature of the cornea. That is astigmatism. So you can see in astigmatism how it is. Multiple points they are showing here. Right? So this is normal and here this is astigmatic eye. So they're going to see something like this or like this. So normally it should be so sharp, the image, but it will not be. This is actually the most common cause. Okay. What are the other options here? Irregularity of the curvature of lens, forward displacement of the lens, backward displacement of lens. Okay. Go with the commonest cause. So when you come to astigmatism, you can blame the cornea, you can blame the lens, everything you can blame. Okay, so corneal astigmatism, lenticular astigmatism is a little rare though, the lenticular astigmatism. Even because of position, it can be there, the astigmatism. Right, because if there is tilting or oblique placement of lens, okay, like in subluxation, then also astigmatism can be there. Even retinal astigmatism can be there. So here we will go with the commonest cause, irregularity of curvature of cornea. Look at this one now, pseudopapillitis is seen in. What is the answer? Pseudopapillitis, hypermetropia. What is this? So it simulates papillitis, though there is no swelling of the disc. Okay, so it is called as pseudopapillitis. Look at this question, aniconia means, what is this? So this is difference in the size of image formed by two eyes. So here they're talking about the size of the image, okay. Let's just look at one or two more questions, okay, not at all more. The fundal picture in myopia. Okay, the answer here is cystoid degeneration. So you will see cystoid degeneration in myopia. Initially in myopia not much, but later you will see all that Foster-Fuchs spots, all the cystoid degeneration, etc. in the fundal picture of a myopic eye. Which component of the eye has maximum refractive index? So we already saw this, the maximum refractive index is in the lens, right? So which is it? Three options are there, lens, so we'll go with center of lens, okay? That is the answer. Easy question, hypermetropia, what is true? Hypermetropia, light falls in front of retina, not at all, that this happens in myopia. Hypermetropia is corrected with concave glasses, no, myopia is corrected with concave glasses. Hypermetropia is not short sight, so let's go with this, it is actually long sight. Accommodative convergent squint may develop in children. So the answer is this one, okay. So squint may develop. Here's the last question. If axial length of the eyeball is changed by 1 millimeter, then the power changes by. Interesting. The answer they're saying is 3 diopters, so we'll just learn that, okay. So we looked at a few MCQs from refractive errors, ophthalmology. Bye-bye.